Hello, ladies and gentlemen, dude and dudettes. Matt Burns here.
And I am Cookie Monster.
Got plenty of cookies, have you?
Well, the cookies are gone now, but I still have many other McVitties to go through.
So you properly nom them.
Nom 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 nom. You guys are freaking Nazis, man.
Nom 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 nom. But yeah, and wow, we are back to our regular, scheduled program.
What's that you say? Thank God for that.
Well, we have been busy lately, haven't we?
Yeah, you noticed I didn't swear.
I did notice that. I'm now wondering if I should be fearful right now.
I'd be worried.
Because I'm actually wondering if this is one of the signs of the apocalypse.
No, I think it's going to be one of the signs of one of the many, many signs of a tongue lashing that is due to arrive.
Please rephrase that.
Nope.
So, in other words, you're gonna have some words.
Got a few choice words, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. But anyway, would you kindly please?
Once I've finished scoffing my nice biscuit, nice.
Which is nice.
It's nice.
Quite nice, actually.
Dave? There we go, that's better. Yeah. So, anyway, without further ado, I bring to you the Sunday 6 p.m.-ish, sort of after 6 p.m. watershed.
Yes.
The following broadcast may contain language, opinions, and topics that may not be suitable for the light-hearted or people that believe that they are highbrow. However, I do believe that nonces and sliths should stay away and maybe go and play a game of Crash Bandicoot.
Huh?
Because it's much easier on the eyes and ears.
Which version?
Original.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So you're referring to the PlayStation 1?
The PS1, yes.
Yes. The one that had the iconic startup when you literally powered the machine up.
Yes, the brilliant one. The one reminded me of many hours of playing Tomb Raider just to try and get the butler in the fridge.
God damn it!
Many hours. Many. And also trying to get the cheat so you can turn Lara Croft naked.
And I bet you came to an explosive result.
Yes. I didn't realise she had one boob. And when I say one boob, I mean it was square and very odd looking.
I went boom when you tried to insert that certain cheat code. Anyway,
yeah, you're making such a boob of yourself.
No, I'm pretty sure the ones who actually attempted that cheat code did. But anyway,
that's true. Yeah, I did. Why isn't it working?
Why did she just blow up?
It's in the magazine.
The magazine wouldn't lie.
Oh yeah, jammy dodgy.
Anyway, with that all being said, we are of course always going to be and always will be advocates for Black Lives Matter.
Also, we are in full support of hashtag speaking out.
That we are.
I swear, like, every week we're going to be having this standoff, like, who's going to say it first?
And we are, of course, friends with the LGBTQ plus community.
Oh, thank God you said it, not me.
You're welcome.
I had a mouthful of biscuits, so, you know, I knew I was going to end up cocking it up some one way or another. All right. I said cock and up in the same sentence. Calm down, child.
I wasn't actually referring to that.
Well, anyway, I think that I should tell everyone a fucking hilarious story.
Before we get onto that, do you mind if I just mention the blog?
Quickly, do it.
I will do. Anyway, due to busy schedules, there was an actual blog that went out yesterday. I was covering for Senor Irvine, and in doing so, if anybody did watch the first version of the vlog, I do apologise.
Yeah, because it would have probably given you a fucking headache.
A headache, eye strain, and God knows what else.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what on earth you were doing filming chipmunks having sex.
It wasn't that.
Yeah, it was.
I thought I accidentally leaked your sex tape.
Well, unless I have magically turned myself into a chipmunk, then, you know... Told you not to tell anybody about that fucking video.
I never did. But anyway, in actual fact, no, the video editing software went a little bit haywire and we've had to, how do we say, upscale.
Upscale, he's had to replace it.
Entirely.
Why do people always have to try and fix something that isn't broken?
I have no idea. If it ain't broken, don't fucking fix it.
You know, I get that they want to put an update on, but now that you put an update on, you've fucked it all up for everybody.
Exactly. It's like, but it should be working. It works on the actual normal video. Yes, it does. But when you actually put it through a render, it just fucks it all up.
That is true.
So yes, I was pretty much today spending most of my morning trying to find a decent software editor and making sure it actually works with the devices I have.
Yeah, for those of you that don't understand what Matt Burns has actually just said, he did say decent, not distant.
Yes. Correct. Good.
Because I'm not going to lie, it did sound like you'd said something else.
You just want me to descend into madness, don't you?
Yep. Is it working?
Not yet. But nurses is what I did say.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm not trying hard enough.
I said yet.
Oh, look at that, a big bourbon biscuit.
But anyway, that aside, we hope that the actual quality of the videos that we do actually send out for the vlogs do actually get a bit better, and we might even have some additional videos in the future. Who knows?
Awesome. Can I get on to my funny story now?
The floor or the airways are yours.
So, I was thinking earlier of stupid names, and then it suddenly dawned on me that I have an hilarious story that I have to tell everyone. Now, when I was in a very, 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 very long time ago primary school, I used to go to school and live next door, well, a couple of doors away from somebody named Paul. And it's funny because his last name was Mycock. And no, this is not a lie. This is far from it. Although I have just come up with an idea, so I will run that past you after the show. yeah, anyway, we went to school one day, and he's a year older than me. So, we used to get on and what have you. And he was running through the corridor from one classroom to another. And bearing in mind that we were all small adolescent children.
No.
The teacher stood up, stamped her foot, and went, "Pull my cock! Stop running!" Oh, yeah. We all sat there on the floor because obviously you did when you were in, everybody listening to this should remember that they used to have to sit on the floor during morning attendance. When they have to tick you off the attendance list. So, yeah, that was rather embarrassing for him. And it was quite funny for us. Because I don't think his parents were really thinking when they named him. Unless they were just born cruel, I don't know. But, And then not long ago, I actually I'd say about 4 or 5 years ago. Not like it was just round the corner. But similar story, the same guy was in the job centre. And I was in the job centre too.
Oh, no.
And the hilarious thing about it is that the woman, you could see that she was all sweaty and she was adjusting her collar because the sweat was clearly quite intense. And then she just went, "Paul." And then about 4, Paul said, "Yes, yes, yes." And she went, "My cock? Beg your pardon? Pull my cock?"
What is it? What is it that everywhere, for some unknown reason, almost at every school, that there has to have someone who has to have the name Cock in it?
Yeah, I know. It's like all cock. That's another good name as well.
I actually know somebody with that.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, so do I. It's funny you say that. Her name is Sarah. Sarah Allcock. Is she Allcock? I don't know. It's like I say,
that's even weird.
It just popped into my head early because obviously I'm old enough now to forget stuff.
I think yours is worse for her because that's a. What the fuck?
Is she all cock? No, she's got balls too. Which also another funny storyline. I watched a Stone Cold segment earlier with Stephanie McMahon.
Go
on. When he called Vince out to kick his ass.
Yeah.
Stephanie comes out to confront Stone Cold, and it's when JR got fired.
Oh.
And it's like, he says, "If you want me to bend Stephanie McMahon, pull her little skirt up and spank her ass, but be careful, I'll do my best to make sure your balls don't fall out."
I'm pretty sure that Peacock
then she goes,
banned that one.
Yeah, I think they have. And then she goes, "I have a proposition for you, Austin." He goes, "Well, shit, I think I got a 20. Oh my God. And it was obvious like he'd been retired for a couple of years after that promo.
Yeah.
Well, leading up to that promo, because he was wearing his, I think it was must have been 06 or 07, something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it was a while ago. Anyway, funny stories, just make me laugh.
Basically, my prediction on the vlog came true.
What, that I would be talking filth?
That we be at some point be talking bollocks.
Nah, I'd never talk filthy though. I hate that cunt.
Anyway, regardless of that, we've been, how do we say, putting this off, have we? We've got a lot of topics to discuss, remember? We've even got to do a bit of a small catch-up And I'm just going to say this for the record. If we have missed anything, don't fucking shoot us.
Don't shoot us.
Because we've had to have some time off. We then had TBT Awards, which we were then trying to, get legitimate answers while also arguing amongst ourselves as well.
I won every argument, by the way.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I do. You forget the story of I win.
No, you didn't win. You actually decided with me on a few of them. And you can sit there. The new Austin Powers, if you ever do Austin Powers remake, we know who can be Dr. Evil.
Yeah, there you go.
He just needs to find his own mini-me. Oh, no, that's decidedly wrong.
I already have a mini-me. I have 2 mini-me's. They are children.
Yes.
Stupid child.
Nope, not saying it. I'm being good. Anyway.
Yes. Come on.
That aside, we've got a lot to talk about. And the question is which direction are we going to be heading to first?
I think we should start with the release.
The releases.
Oh, yes. The releases that really, one of them really infuriates me.
Start us off then, please.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Why? After all that trouble, and after all he said, bigging the company up, did he then decide, nah, fuck you off. Go fuck yourself.
Basically, I believe they described him as done.
He's not done. He's fucking far from done.
That's what their excuse is.
Man's only what, in his 40s?
The man can wrestle. The man is Samoa Joe. The man is a beast.
Yeah, he's had his fair share of injuries, but aren't we fucking all?
Yes.
The man is not done. He's far from done. He will turn up. Oh my God, sorry. I seem to have burped. I do apologise.
Where are your manners?
Oh, pardon me. So yeah, I don't understand it. Why have they let him go again?
Oh, interesting.
Oh, please don't say stuff like that. Every single time you say something, oh, it's interesting, makes me think, it's a sling blade.
No, we might have an additional name possibly to add on to the list eventually. But anyway, yeah, a lot of people have been released. We've got people from NXT. We've got William Regal, which I'm like, what the fuck?
And he's already in talks to debut on AEW.
Potentially. But will he actually be able to use the name William Regal?
Maybe not. Maybe not. We also have to see how that goes. Because obviously he's under no obligation like wrestlers are under the no-compete clause, because he can just start sign and work wherever he wants, because he'll only be doing backstage stuff.
It's still classified as he can't even be an on-screen personality.
Yeah, well, I don't know the ins and outs of people outside of the actual in-ring performers.
Yeah.
Which also brings me into another funny segment. William Regal attempting to read Hamlet, Stone Cold coming out and stunning him and just walking off. What?
I remember that.
That is hilarious. Well, young man, I'm going to be reading Hamlet. What?
Or you got the infamous Chris Jericho besmirching his tea. Although I still think one of Regal's best promos on the WWE.
I know which one you're going to say.
Go on.
You're going to say the one on Triple H.
Oh, hell yeah. Come on.
Yeah, it was fucking brutal, that was.
That was just... Genuinely, I could not have been any more of a fan of Regal. It was like, he just instantly turned. It was just perfect. And the scary thing about it is, he didn't even have to change who he was.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's perfect.
Yeah. It's just brilliant.
But anyway, back to the releases.
Yep. We've also got Road Dogg, Jesse James.
Yep.
Oh, you didn't know? What?
Could be worse. It could be, I forgot.
What's next?
What's next, guys? What's the end? Anyway, we could get into that one later.
Yeah, potentially.
Because we have news, ladies and gentlemen. We have news.
Is this a good news, everyone, or is it actually good news?
More
on that later.
Yeah.
More on that later. But anyway, the point being is, genuinely, it is just interesting on how things are going to be sort of... It's just interesting how the fact that they're releasing so many people. Now, I think what Britt Baker said recently was absolutely hysterical, because people are clamoring over the Forbidden Door, and Britt Baker, I believe, said WWE doesn't need to do the Forbidden Door for how much talent they release into the independent scene.
Ah, yes.
But more on the Forbidden Door a bit later.
The Forbidden Back Door.
Because, goddamn, we've got a lot to talk about.
Oh, we've got about 3 or 4 weeks worth of content here. And we've got to try and cram it into about an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah. Anyway, basically, more releases have been gone. People are more upset, and WWE saying some of them are citing, basically they've been let go for hashtag budget reasons. Now, the weird thing about the whole last batch that went away from NXT recently is the fact that a lot of them were actually connected to Triple H.
Yeah.
When he was part of the Black and Gold brand. When it was the Black and Gold brand. Oh, and now, because it's now NXT 2.0, they are now being told that people are having to report to Mr. Bruce Pritchard.
That is so fucked up. Can you imagine that fucking idiot actually trying to run a company?
Yeah.
Spells disaster.
And there's no love there, is there?
No.
And especially brotherly love.
Yeah.
Anyway, point being is, the fact, it's just, really? Yeah, I can understand why they're wanting to have, some of the current guys from the main roster being, sort of involved with some of the working of NXT to make the transition a bit more easy. But when you are going to the point of... Has anybody watched NXT 2.0 recently?
No, it's shit.
Zach Gibson. I then want to, how do I say this? Almost anyone who's associated with the Black and Gold brand are losing. Pete Dunne losing left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
And he doesn't fucking deserve that.
Gargano gone. How long until Tommaso Ciampa goes?
Oh, rumour has it he might be getting called up and went for the burial.
What, you mean like Karrion Kross did?
Yeah.
Bye.
And Keith Lee. And don't you even dare say that nickname he had.
Bearcat. Keith the Bearcat Lee.
And they even had him dropping the name Keith, if I'm not mistaken. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. You are no longer allowed to use a normal name. You've got to have a ridiculous name. The Bearcat.
The Bearcat Lee. And then as we reveal you as Bearcat, we're going to release you next week.
Oh my God. It's like a nightmare, isn't it, really?
It is. It's just what the actual fuck. Then, on top of that, we've now even got to discuss one person, and I'm going to say this quite clearly to make sure that, wrestling outlets, news outlets, and everything, and generally anyone on the internet understands this fact, right? Because this one, I will say, is a fucking pet peeve of mine. Tony Storm.
Yeah, Tony Storm's like, what the fuck?
Wait. The Tony Storm situation. I'm going to spell this out to a lot of people right now.
I think they know how to spell a name.
It's not a name that I'm going to be spelling out. I'm just going to be spelling out the fucking fact that she wasn't released and the fact that she fucking quit by buying out her contract. So she wasn't fucking released.
Therefore, no compete clause?
No 90-day non-compete. Correct.
See? You'd think we'd done this before, wouldn't you?
Oh, I know, but the point being is people are putting out, oh, Tony Storm released. Fuck off!
Tony Storm was not released. She quit. And she even paid for her own fucking plane ticket to go back home. That's how much the WWE care.
She was that pissed off with, we won't entertain. The fact that she literally just went, buy out my contract, get on a plane, and I'm fucking off. See you later.
And might I add also as well, Jeff Hardy walking out on a house show because he'd had enough. I'm just wondering if they are all just not happy with the way it's being run.
Oh, and by the way, do you know when Jeff Hardy had supposedly walked out on? Do you know what the actual angle was that they were going to have him do?
Oh, it was to be like the thingy for MSK.
The Shaman.
Yeah. And now, obviously, that's gone to Riddle.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? I don't get it.
And they were going to be referencing getting high in it. So the thing that they accused him of, they were going to actually use as part of a...
Can you imagine how much of a struggle that would be for somebody that's been through rehab several times and relapsed several times because the temptation was there, and now he seems to be a lot happier away from the WWE, playing, singing really, isn't he? Singing.
Because if I'm not mistaken, he has been known to do his own theme music and part of his own group and band.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Might be involved in, I think, Matt Hardy's TV show, I think.
Not only that, because obviously Matt Hardy, you know when he was ECW champion?
Yeah.
He actually put a teaser on Twitter not long ago with Jeff Hardy with the WWE stupid spinny fucking World Championship.
Yeah.
And then you got Matt Hardy with the ECW Championship.
Memories.
Because am I right in saying that they both won him in the same respective year?
Yes, they did. Yes, they do.
Can you imagine being Jeff Hardy, right, and having to fucking look and wear that piece of spinny wheel fucking gangster crap?
And do you know who you beat for it?
Edge and Triple H.
Bingo.
Edge and Triple H. I remember it. Triple H went for the pin, and if I remember rightly, Swanton Bomb on top of Triple H to
And he
pin
bounced
Edge.
out the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that was a fucking match and a half.
Yeah.
He could have been absolutely enormous, Jeff Hardy could. Obviously, if he hadn't relapsed, but, you know, stuff happened for a reason, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
But yeah, so, you know, I reckon there's a teaser of Jeff Hardy going to AEW eventually.
Or even going back to Impact. Who knows?
Yeah, well, maybe, yeah, we all say AEW, but I think more so it'll be AEW. I think maybe one last run as tag champs is in the cards.
Who knows? Be interesting.
Because then I think they would have won the tag titles pretty much everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they would have, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Apart from New Japan.
Yeah, New Japan. There's going to be others companies that we've thought of, that we haven't thought of really. That is quite obvious.
Yeah, yeah.
Like GCW and stuff like that, but you know, I don't even.
Then again, you never say never.
Yeah, I just want to say never say never. If Matt Cardona can pull it out the bag, then you know.
On more than one
But
occasion.
anyway, I think was that most of the releases.
No, there was more. There was a hell of a lot more. But anyway, we're not going to go through every single one of them because we'll be here all fucking day.
Yeah, because obviously there's one for the other company that I want to talk about.
What release?
That they let run a contract down, and that's Big Swole.
Oh boy!
Controversy coming up.
Oh boy!
Right, so she leaves. She's obviously pissed off about something, claiming about the lack of diversity within the AEW ranks.
Yeah.
Right, so where do we start with this one? Oh, wait, I know. We'll start from the top. Tony Khan pointed out in another tweet, in a rebuttal, to say that, while I do apologise for the lack of diversity, considering that, you know, your chairman, a fucking brown, Jade Cargill...
Not Caucasian.
What?
Not Caucasian. Not... I was actually saying another way. I was rephrasing it into another way as well.
Oh, God's sake.
Continue.
So Jade Cargill, obviously, black female, she is now the TBS
champion.
You know,
Women's champion.
You know, at the time she was in the competition, but I think she was in like the semi-final at the time when this happened, going into the final against Ruby Soho.
Yes.
And then you look at it and you think you've got lots of diversity. You've got Team Taz, you've got the Acclaimed, who are now number one ranked tag team in the division. And you're telling me there's a lack of diversity. No, what this is somebody's been called out that they can't fucking wrestle. That's what it is. They've been called out. Tony Khan has actually said, I just don't think wrestling was up to scratch. That is a criticism, not an attack against your race.
Now, the problem with this is some people are saying Tony Khan shouldn't have done that, but at the same time, Big Swole shouldn't have done what they'd done. You know, and some of them are trying to say, two wrongs don't make a right.
No, but that's right, though, that is. It is right. But he's defending his company. Maybe it's just he's sick of it. Because it's a massive accusation.
Yeah.
But then you've got Leo Rush. Oh, my God. Every single time something even remotely fucking It's like there was a white man eating a piece of cornbread. Oh my God, that's cultural appropriation. That describes Leo Rush down to a fucking T. He's just an idiot. He just gets hell-bent on pointing his finger straight away. I think Tony Khan needs to apologise, blah, blah, blah. How's about you shut the fuck up?
This coming from a guy who part of WWE management's almost, what was it? Almost come out as a moth.
What?
Yeah. That's actually a true story, by the way.
What?
He almost come out dressed as a damn moth.
Wow.
Mask and all.
Well, not being funny, his new wrestling gear looks a bit like a moth. He's pure white. You know, his gear's pure white, so,
No.
you know, he looks like the White Ranger.
Now, all I'm just going to say is, can you remember when he used to be called Man of the Hour?
Yes.
What does it spell? The initials? Moth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Triple H had to basically inform him, and what made it even worse is, because he was part of NXT, the gear that was made, he had to pay for. Oops.
Mothman. Anyway, we're not getting into the detail shit like that.
No.
What I'm trying to say is that Leo Rush jumps on the bandwagon, making an official tweet, making a complete arse of himself, with no substantial evidence whatsoever other than what Big Swole has got to say.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny because other black African Americans, Mexicans, Japanese, other cultures, British wrestlers that are there, there is a fucking multicultural, fucking diverse roster, which is no different than WWE's. So why are you trying to fucking... I know it's because you were released for being dog shit. Remember I said to you in the AEW women's division when Big Swole made a return after an injury, and I was like, what the fuck is that? This is like 2 years ago.
No, it's not that. It's just... I remember
I think it was like the beginning of 2021.
I remember the whole feud that she had with Britt Baker, and I didn't care for it.
I didn't care for it because it was shit. She was dog shit.
And
the fucking the whole music was like, slow. And it's like, it doesn't make it. It's like, why?
Hang on. Whoa. Go back.
What?
That sounds a bit familiar. So it was just swole. Not like she's copying off anybody who used to do Moose. From Impact.
No, it's different than that. It was different.
Just a bit more high pitch.
It was just stupid. It didn't make sense.
It makes sense.
It really didn't. I just didn't rate her as a superstar, and she was one of the ones that I actually pointed out that I was not keen on.
But let me just point this out, by the way, in case anybody gets upset. Opinion.
Yeah, it's my opinion that I was not keen on Big Swole. I think a gimmick was just, it was too basic. It was boring. I just did it again, didn't I? Well, basically, she's a bit basic. She's that basic.
Wait. She's that basic. He said basic twice.
Basic bitch.
Right.
Anyway, so what I'm saying is that Big Swole, you have literally no right to make such an accusation because you've been let go because you're not good enough. Now, this is one thing that I always say. It is not racial when you hire your talent based on experience and based on level the level of talent and what you have to offer. If you can't go away like multiple wrestlers have done, if you can't go away and then come back stronger, bigger, stronger, and reinvent yourself, because it's clear that your gimmick isn't working and it's boring and you're not a very good technical wrestler, if you can't do that, then you're not going to make it in the wrestling industry. You'll just be a jobber. You'll just be a jobber that's going out into the world and getting absolutely fucking rinsed and jobbed out to other wrestlers because you're not.
Well, actually, she won't be now because it'll be as seen on AEW.
Yeah, exactly. A bit like Warhorse. But let's not get into that. Warhorse, 0-1. When did he make his appearance? Last year sometime. Who gives a shit?
Was it last year? Was it the year before?
I don't know. It was on an episode of Dark, I think.
No, it wasn't. It was actually against Cody Rhodes for the title, I think.
Was it? Oh, so he's made more than one appearance then?
Yes.
It doesn't matter. But anyway.
But then suddenly went away.
But anyway, Lio Rush then decided to go on the back foot after having a conversation with Tony Khan. So in other words, Tony Khan sat there, read him the fucking riot act and said, who the fuck do you think you are, you stupid little fucking worm-headed prick? Don't get talking shit about me. You know nothing about my culture. So don't get coming at me saying that we are not fucking diverse enough when I've just given you a fucking good job when nobody else will work with you because you're a little arsehole. And then all of a sudden he's just like, oh, well, after sitting down with Tony Khan, I realised the error of my ways. And I respect his... So basically, you've just been threatened with your job. So stop being a fucking pussy. Shut the fuck up and listen to what you've been told. And fucking sit there in the bad boy corner until you're told to come fucking out again, you absolute fucking jizz head.
Wait, what's he doing lately?
Boy in the corner? I don't know.
Has he been on TV lately?
Exactly.
Oops.
I mean, what nationality is Tony Khan? Is it Indian?
I actually don't know that one. I'd rather be honest and just say I don't know it. I'd have to look it up. Genuinely.
Yeah. Well, I was just about to say, obviously, is of a different culture. Don't know what country he's from, so I can't remember off the top of my head. I do know I've heard it, but I can't remember. But in that statement he put out on Twitter, it's basically saying, I've just been told off. I'm a knob. I'm not sorry, but I'm going to pretend that I'm sorry so
he's American.
Lose another paycheck. What?
He's actually born American.
No, I'm not saying... That's not what I was asking. I was asking, like, his origins. Where does his origins come from? His dad is the main...
his dad's actually Pakistani-American businessman.
There we go. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Tony Khan, of Pakistani descent. Yeah. I'm not being funny, but you know nothing about their culture. So don't get preaching that it's not diverse enough when clearly it fucking is. And I'm sorry, Lio Rush, it's not a white man's fault that he is probably better than you technically in the ring. Get a grip. I mean, look at Dante Martin. Dante Martin fucking well outshines Lio Rush. Well outshines him. In the ring and on the mic. The Acclaimed. They do exactly the same. We've said to ourselves, haven't we? We've said to each other many a times, I fucking love their raps coming down to the ring. I love them. Jade Cargill, she switched my opinion after that match with Ruby Soho.
Yes.
Because I feel like she was actually turning a new leaf. But then again, you have to remember she's still a rookie.
Yes.
So it's like, Jesus. So, you just got to realise that it's not because of the colour of your skin that you couldn't progress in the company. It was because you were fucking garbage. Get a fucking grip.
Yes.
And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Happy? Yes, I am actually. Thank you very much for asking, Matt Burns.
I was just letting you finish.
I feel better, so much better. But that's all that we can't really cover any much more on that one because it'd be pointless. They've both been slapped down and made to look stupid.
In other words, they both fucked up. They both dealt with the mistakes and are now having to deal with it. And
yeah, but who's going to want to work with Big Swole now? Who's going to want to work with her? Because it's like she goes over to New Japan. Say she goes over to New Japan, what's she going to say? Oh, it's not very diverse over here. Well, that's probably because nobody wants to fucking go there. Or they've got
it might not be that.
Either that or they've got prior commitments or they can't make it. Oh, fuck off.
No,
just
there is a pandemic.
Everywhere, always the forever fucking victim. Piss off, man.
Okay.
Fucking victim. Funny, innit? Funny, innit? Anyway, we need to move on. Come on, next.
Anyway, that aside, as my colleague has just stated, yes, there was that. Right, done, dusted. Shall we move on to the Forbidden Door?
Yeah.
WWE. Do we have basically, for some unknown reason, right? What was it? Oh, that was right. They're doing the Women's Royal Rumble, and they're now having to pull legends back in.
I'm so glad that I just really, really did actually hear you right then by saying legends, because I actually thought you said lesbians.
Legends. But anyway, point being is okay, it's always good for the Royal Rumble. But then when you see that one of them is Mickie James, has a lot of people going, huh?
And why is that? Because she is the Impact Women's Champion.
The Impact and Knockouts champion, and is also working for NWA as well.
Yep. Working on the independents, actually doing a lot better than she was in the WWE because she's actually got somewhere.
And WWE even willingly mention Impact as well, even stating that she is the Impact Knockouts champion. So why is that?
I don't know. It just seems to me.
Oh, and also, why is it that Charlotte Flair is also in the Women's Rumble as well?
Yeah.
Why is she in the Rumble? Think about it.
Yeah, no. Well, it's just to fill the gaps.
So basically, they haven't got enough female wrestlers to fill up the Rumble since doing a lot of releases. Oh, yeah. And they don't be using any of the NXT 2.0 stars. Either.
Well, this is the thing. So they're using that. They've just let loads of stars go, and one of them's even walked. And now they're drafting in of the WWE.
Yeah, and I believe the one that walked, which was Tony Storm, basically decreed that she wasn't having any of the bullshit of someone who thought that everyone should bow down to them, not just as a character, but in real life.
Yeah.
I wonder who that could be.
Yeah, I wonder who that could be. Well, let's not go there at this moment in time.
We won't.
Please
continue.
So yeah, it's not just Mickey James though, is it? It's Lita. They're bringing back Lita. Thank God for that, and that's the only reason why I'll be watching the Royal Rumble.
And they actually had Lita on SmackDown this week, literally punking out Charlotte Flair.
Nice.
Quite comically. But the problem is, I'm just now thinking to myself, what I thought was even worse, though, is between the two of them, they were literally saying, oh, you're so old. And Lita's comeback was, well, you got a big head.
Wow, that is so PG.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind that this is coming from, can you imagine the creative where it's like, well, you're old. Yeah, well, you've got a big head. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's working for Jericho at the minute against 2.0, but, he's got a square head. And it's like...
No, but that's what I'm saying. This seems a bit...
childish.
No, it just seems like they've been watching AEW and thought, let's jump on the train wagon.
No. That's not true, though, is it? Because they have actually released a statement to a newspaper condemning them for having too much blood again. Remember when they did it when Kenny Omega and Moxley had the barbed wire match?
Yeah.
And they said it just went a bit too far. And to be fair, we agreed it went like above and beyond. It was a belting match, but
it was shit. That escalated quickly.
Yeah, exactly. So even we were sitting there like with the jaws agape. But the thing is that they keep taking pot shots at AEW, but when AEW do it back to W, it's like, oh, why are you doing that? That's a bit child. Well, hang on a minute. All is fair in love and war.
Well, actually, WWE could be in even more trouble with the additional news I've got for them as well.
Well, let me just explain something. They've got all the legends that are going back to the Royal Rumble, and it wouldn't surprise me if you haven't got people like Molly Holly, Sable, and all them lot coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's what WWE do, just to fill the numbers, and it's ridiculous. Don't have a Rumble if you can't afford to keep the staff that you've already got, because many a times now we've been told, we can't afford it, but yet you've just had your most profitable year ever. Since ever.
Yeah.
Since ever. So why are you struggling to afford it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it is that the case. I think they are going to start smooching with other companies.
Which they already have been.
And selling off.
No, they already have been. They've already tried it.
But it's like I say, we've watched and followed the WWE for years. Since I was a toddler. Watching Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior and Jake the Snake and, Earthquake and Typhoon and Honky Tonk Man and
Ravishing Rick Rude?
Yeah, Ravishing Rick Rude is actually one of my favourites, Ravishing Rick Rude is. I nearly actually bought a pair of his shorts off AEW Euroshop. Because he is that cool. Do you remember when he won the Intercontinental Championship and he actually had it on his tights?
Yes. I also remember the mind games he did on Jake the Snake.
Exactly. So fucking cool, it's unreal. But yeah, so like I say, it just... I've got a feeling that the men's Royal Rumble is going to be the same as well.
Rumour has they've got one or two surprises for it, supposedly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we've already know Johnny Knoxville's going to be in it. But that's only as a promotion for Jackass Forever. I mean, like, dude, we're looking forward to Jackass Forever. You don't have to promote it at WWE. because it's PG. It's a PG show. If you're going to promote it, go to AEW because
you have to be able to get to do your shit.
Yeah, that is the best place to do your shit. Not to mention that Devo and Darby Allin have done a skateboarding stunt together.
It makes it even worse. He's in a feud.
Really?
Yeah.
With who?
Sami Zayn.
Well, to be honest, is it me? I feel sorry for Sami Zayn as well. I really do, because he seems to be giving jokey shit.
I know. It gets worse. He got gorilla press slammed over the top rope to land on a crash mat, which he sold.
Wait, what?
He got gorilla press slammed by Rick Boogs over the ropes onto a crash mat, and he sold it like he hit the mats, the regular mats.
Okay. This is coming from Johnny Knoxville. That's probably had more concussions than he's had hot dinners. Butterbean spring to mind.
And no. What I'm saying to you is they've moved Sami Zayn to Johnny Knoxville, I think, to possibly cover for the fact that Shinsuke Nakamura, who is the IC champion, is injured.
Oh, well, why don't they just have an interim champion then?
Even though he King Shaq, he hit his finisher. I can't even pronounce it correctly. I'm just used to the old name, the Bomber.
Okay, let's not talk about that anymore because, it just don't want it to depress me. I love the Royal Rumble. It's one of my favourite events, and I will be watching it.
Yeah, I will be.
But just like WrestleMania, I will be watching that.
Remember, it's not a pay-per-view.
Yes, it is a... what did he call it now?
Premium live event.
Oh, a Pornhub live event. I mean, premium. I do apologise. I do get mixed up.
It could be worse. It could be a red tube.
I've got no comment.
Anyway.
I've got no comment because you are a filthy animal and you seem to know a lot about porn websites. So let's just put a pin in it and leave it there.
I'll learn it from you. Anyway, let's move on. Anyway, the point being is, it just seems a bit stupid.
Yeah, it does seem stupid. It just seems pointless.
Anyway.
Which brings me to my next point.
It depends. Could I just rewind this back a little bit?
Go on.
Can you remember when you said that WWE is pointing the finger at AEW going, they're doing shit, they're doing the horrible things, and then when they're pointing back going, well, a bit fucking childish.
Yeah, well, I was actually just going to rewind. That's where I was going with that one. I was just about to say, rewinding it back a bit.
Yeah, does anybody know the company MLW?
MLW?
Major League Wrestling.
Well, I gathered that's what it'd be, but no, I don't believe I have, or have I? I don't know, actually.
Well, you're going to be paying attention to a bit more often right now, because they're actually in court suing their company.
Suing what company?
WWE.
What, MLW is suing WWE?
Yeah.
Or vice versa?
No, MLW is suing WWE in regards towards possibly the monopoly law.
Monopoly law?
Basically, because they're the mainstream and everything, and when they actually had a deal with I believe, part of a network that was linked to Fox, WWE leaned on Fox and told them to basically jack them off, basically get rid of them, and put basically screw them over business deals and everything.
I'm so glad that you rephrased from jack them off.
Yeah, that's why I thought I'd rephrase it quickly. the point
Take
being
the high
is,
road, you filthy animal.
no, but the point being is, WWE's been potentially sabotaging other wrestling companies of having any links or anything to do with other businesses. Now, the weird thing about it is the business wasn't directly towards Fox, just owned by Fox, potentially. But WWE went, nope, we're not having it. Either get rid of them or we're potentially losing business here.
Yeah, well, they've got every right to sue them then because they've lost them revenue by doing that.
On more than one occasion.
Yeah, so it looks like somebody's in for a big payout.
However, the person who's in charge of MLW is a former WWE employee. So it can look like it could be, someone who could just be better.
Ow!
What?
My knee cracked and it sounded like someone had been shot.
Right. Point being is, though, it could be potentially something that could be someone just being better, but at the same time, they could actually have a very valid point.
Well, we all know about people being fucking bitter, but at the end of the day, if the facts are there, the facts are there. We deal in facts, not hearsay.
Correct, but the actual documentation has been placed in.
Good, and you know something, I hope they win. But I reckon this is where WWE is struggling because they're fighting AEW, which they thought was just going to turn into another WCW.
Or another, supposed Impact run by Hogan.
Yep, exactly. Which will never happen, by the way, because Hogan is literally not very well.
Yeah.
He's just getting too old for that shit now. And I just, they took the competition lightly and everything ever since 2019, even though from 2019, everything was dog shit.
Yeah.
Everything. Even especially actually towards the end of 2020. Wow. Just wow.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the whole war between AEW and WWE, like who's better, who isn't. AEW can put on better pay-per-views with a fraction of the amount of money, which is true. But both companies have got the faults. We're not saying AEW is perfect, but we're saying that WWE now have been doing it so long that surely you'd think they'd be getting it right by now.
Essentially, they're taking the foot off the pedal, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they're lazy. They're lazy. We've all seen the lazy writing. It's pathetic. It is pathetic. I am literally, when Finn Balor does a sling blade, all I'm expecting is, it's a sling blade. Just to try and hype it up.
Sling blade.
Seth Rollins, sling blade.
Sling blade.
I really want a copy of that. I want that as my ringtone.
Sling blade.
Can you imagine that? Text goes off. It's a sling blade.
Don't tempt me.
But anyway, so yeah, like I say, it's just the whole Royal Rumble thing and, taking pot shots at one another. You can't say one's childish, and then completely ignore what the other one's firing back at them. You can't do that. But AEW is a much more attractive option right now. Even Impact is looking a lot better alternative to Raw or SmackDown, especially with, like you were just about to say, the whole invasion angle they've got going on at this moment in time.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not just that, though, because ROH are not just invading there, but they're invading AEW as well.
Yes, they're also doing other shows as well at GCW.
GCW. It won't surprise me if someone don't end up back in New Japan.
I think we've even got some of them even in the UK.
Yes, that's true, actually. Some come back to the UK, aren't they?
Yep.
So, yeah, it's just... I don't think Ring of Honor would be suffering so much if we actually supported Ring of Honor like we should have done over the years.
Mm-hmm.
It's like PGW as well, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, or PWG, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
We should be supporting these kind of companies because wrestlers that are independent that work for AEW also work for these shows as well.
Yep.
They turn up on Impact. They turn up here. I mean, the whole thing with Don Callis, that was pretty cool, to be fair. And I saw a picture of him the other day, and yes, it is very odd seeing him without sunglasses and a wig. Which apparently was supposed to have been his long hair, his real long hair. I bet he's gutted that he hasn't got sexy hair like that anymore. I know I would be. I nearly cried when they wanted to shave my hair off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no.
No.
You guys, I'm going home. But yeah, there you go. So, I just think this whole war thing's going a bit thingy. I mean, I can't really say anything. I mean, obviously, we're moving into an era of WWE where we seem to be turning back the hands of time yet again.
Yep.
Now, unfortunately, if you want to look at injustices against minority, against African Americans, look no further than Big E. Kofi Kingston. They both got destroyed by Blockhead Lesnar. Yes, he looks like a fucking onion, and you know it.
Block lobster.
Block Lobster Lesnar. I'm not gonna lie. I think the WWE is in good hands with Brock Lesnar right now. But I look at Big E and I think, you poor fucking Jesus Christ, you poor bastard. You were given a fucking shit run. You've done everything for that company. You've won tag titles. You've won the Intercontinental. And you've been the third member, if I feel like you were the leader, if I'm being honest, of the New Day. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? But yet you've got people saying there's a lack of diversity in AEW. I'm sorry, but why is nobody looking at WWE? What were we saying not long ago? A few months ago, we did a program, and I said, how many African Americans have actually won heavyweight gold?
This just in, by the way, speaking of WWE, Mustafa Ali has requested his release from WWE.
No, who gives a fuck? Moving on. Anyway.
And he's put it across social media.
Good for him. Not being funny, but
Continue
he was mistreated. He was treated like shit, but who cares?
Continue.
So, yeah, we were talking, weren't we, not long ago, a couple of months back, about African Americans and Mexican wrestlers that have actually won gold in the WWE and held on to it for longer than a few months.
Mm-hmm.
And the results won't shock you, but they shocked me.
Yeah.
Now you think about it.
I know.
Other than The Rock, Booker T, and Bobby Lashley, Kofi Kingston and Big E, how many more can you think? And it was very hard. We had to actually Google it.
I think even Google struggled.
Yeah, Exactly. So you can't tell me that there's a lack of diversity in AEW when your first women's TBS champion is a fucking unit, just so happens to be African American.
Oh, and supposedly that Big Swell is supposedly heading towards the WWE as well.
What,
Supposedly.
to actually be a fucking ragdoll?
No idea.
Look, I say good luck to her because at the end of the day, it's like CM Punk said, if you think that the grass is greener on the other side, go ahead. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
It won't end well. And it won't.
Oh, I'd also like to also state, if it hasn't already happened or not, the Ministries would like to say we hope nothing but the best of luck to Jonathan Gresham running his first show with Terminus Wrestling.
Really?
Yeah, as it's today.
Fucking hell. Good luck then. You're gonna need it because it's a tough, tough world.
Good luck.
And I actually was quite sincere with that, even though it didn't sound it, but you know.
No, you were being sincere, and I know you were. It's just if someone thinks otherwise, no, he was being sincere.
I will take a leaf out of the Iron Sheik's book. Go fuck yourself.
If you think he thought differently.
Yes, exactly.
There you go.
So yeah, there we go. So yeah, back to the champions. AEW's only 3 years old. WWE is 30 odd years old, 40 years old. So don't get sitting there and tell me there's a lack of diversity in AEW when WWE have been doing it a hell of a lot longer. There's a big difference between 40 odd years and 3 years. There's a big fucking difference. Because that would be like saying to a fucking toddler, go drive a car, when you've been doing it for 20 odd years. You should know better. No. At least everything that AEW have done so far, majority of it has been right. And WWE is still making the same old mistakes that they were making back in the 90s.
Same old shit.
Even
same old shit.
back in the 80s, exactly. Same old shit, different day. Different day. Although I am quite impressed with the new cover of 2K 2022. Or say 2K22.
I'm just going to say, no comment. I'm not paying attention to that game series because the last one fucking scarred me.
I think it scarred pretty much any child that picked it up and played it. So every time that you want to see bloody Bailey with just a pair of teeth and eyes,
or if you want to see someone literally look like they were breakdancing on their skull.
Oh god, yeah, that game was horrendous. I was contemplating buying it because I haven't owned a wrestling game for a long time.
I believe it was myself, wasn't it, who saying, no, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it, because you got it for free, didn't you, on the Xbox?
No. I got it a free weekend trial, and I was asking for a refund.
No, I think that's just because you're a fucking tight horse.
No, it was that goddamn fucking awful.
You know something? Sometimes I can actually swear I can hear you squeaking when you walk.
No, it's not that I'm cheap. It's the fact that I knew it was going to be. I knew it was going to be. I heard it was bad, but then when I actually played it and the game just kept breaking, and it's like, yeah, and people had paid £110 for the top tier version, and the game would break repeatedly. And when I say break, I mean you can start off a match on it, and you can't win the match because it'll do something where you can't actually get into the sequence that you need to for the supposed storyline mode. Or you're going to win a fatal four-way. You grab one person, the other one just does a roll-up, 1, 2, 3. You've lost. Restart again. And you've got to go through all the cutscenes as well.
I have just seen what you've just sent me. Oh my God, Shawn Michaels would be proud of that one.
So many questions, isn't there?
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Oh wow.
You're welcome.
That was terrible. But yeah, so yeah, that's just made me laugh. And there was some guy dressed in a fucking spaceship outfit sitting in the middle of the ring. I don't get that.
Why did I just instantly just sit there, thought to myself, that guy must be like, why did I walk in this room? Why are you asking you? You don't fucking know.
It's like how to sell a stunner.
That's reminding me of somebody else.
That's not how you sell a stunner.
And also, for the forgetful, the ones where they say, why did I walk in this room? Why are you asking you? You don't fucking know. Reminds me of somebody. Anyway, moving on.
Where do we go from here, mate? I don't know.
Anyway, moving on, shall we?
Where are we going? I don't know.
Point being is, there's a lot of wrestling going on.
There is, yeah, a lot. And we've got a lot, there's still a lot to cover. I mean, we've been going for about an hour and 20 minutes and we're still nowhere near the end. But we're going to have to.
Anyway, push on. What's next?
The whole... I think WWE, I just can't be arsed to talk about them anymore. They just seem to be irrelevant. In the world of wrestling, they're irrelevant. Am I right? They might be the main company, but which classes themselves as an entertainment rather than a wrestling company.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. Don't make fucking sense. Don't make fucking sense. Somebody else is trying to be Vince McMahon there. Fucking drop you.
Without checking on both sides of the story.
You fucking dipstick.
What?
Next time I'm going to cough next time you go for say something.
Hashtag facts.
Anyway, that made me laugh that much. I forgot where we were going. Yeah, that was it. I want to talk about... Still want to talk about the Ring of Honor.
Yes.
Because obviously we know that they've invaded Impact, and now we have clarification that there are more to be working out. So the one faction I am desperately looking forward to watching right now this year is the House of Black.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting. But the scary thing about it is, as you mentioned ROH, by the way, I believe there is a new ROH Women's Champion.
Okay.
Roxy has lost her championship to Deonna Purrazzo.
That's interesting.
And do you know what was even interesting? The fact that it was the ROH Championship and the AAA Championship on the line on an Impact show.
Okay.
How the fuck does Scott D'Amore pulled that one off?
I think you know what's happened there. Money talks.
And then there's also the fact that you got even Tom Haffernan on Impact Wrestling, replacing Matt Striker. And in case if anybody wants to know who Tom Haffernan is, does the name Tom Phillips ring any bells?
Well, if it doesn't, it's called Google. Try
Call
searching.
Google, and he was the man who used to do interviews in the backstage where he had to bend his knees because he was too tall compared to the other wrestlers.
Yeah, it makes sense. Just a bit like John Silver.
No, literally, he had to, when he was standing next to Kane and Undertaker, even though they are taller than him, he still had to bend his knees to make them look larger than life.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No, for full segments.
No, fuck that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how painful that must be?
Oh, that's got to be agonising.
So, yeah. Can I go back to where we were? Because you
House of Black.
House of Black. I'm really looking... Because obviously we've had the introduction of Brody King.
Who, the man's a beast.
The man is enormous. And is a former... was it Ring of Honor Tag Champ?
Yep, he's a former Ring of Honor Tag Team Champ. And he is a current PWG Tag Team Champion with Malachi Black.
Exactly. So it was only a matter of time until he made the jump to AEW.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I mean, look at that dude. He's fucking scary, man.
Yep.
And it genuinely, the House of Black, it excites me.
Yep.
It excites me to the stage where I am literally grasping my nipples.
No comment?
Yeah, I wouldn't either, because it's just like, ooh, Nirvana.
No comment.
Ecstasy. But yeah, that it really does excite me because it's a faction that the Dark Order should have been.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously now the Dark Order is turned into a joke gimmick. John Silver, to be honest, they just need to do something with the Dark Order now. It's either get rid of it or change it to something different.
Some members are getting a bit more notice, a bit more screen time, but at the same time, it's not taken serious enough.
Yeah, exactly. Is it number 10? Number 10, I think.
Number 10?
The one that's absolute fucking meat house.
You mean Hungry?
No. He's absolute fucking unit, and he's got
Vance. Yeah, number 10,
yeah.
Vance.
Wears a mask.
I don't think he wears a mask anymore.
He did on Dark when I saw him the other day.
I might be mistaken.
White mask.
Yes.
White mask, and he has like numbers on his chest.
Yeah.
Like lines 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, don't you?
Yeah, I know you're on about. Finishes
anyway,
with the full Nelson.
Thank you. Yes, that's the one. He needs to get more recognition. I mean, they're going nowhere in the Dark Order, and that was the thing that got me when they had the whole thing with Adam Cole.
Yeah.
And Bryan Danielson. And it's just, they're a joke, and they are a joke, and it's not, for me, that's not what Brody Lee took over to push forward.
Mm-hmm.
Evil Uno, he's getting a bit more recognition. And they do need a bit more recognition, but they're not going to do it if they keep turning the Dark Order into a joke game, because it's supposed to be like the new Ministry of Darkness.
Yep.
But now it just looks like, men with minds of children that want to try and play the Undertaker. You know what I mean? That want to play the Attitude Era's version of the Undertaker's Ministry of Darkness.
Basically do the best hits.
Yeah, exactly. And it just doesn't. But now I look at Malachi Black and I'm like, this dude's got it.
Yeah.
He's got it. And now he's got Brody King. That is fucking awesome. throw into the mix if he can get his hands on Pac, and the whole thing that they're doing with Pac at the minute, with being blindfolded.
Yeah.
And then obviously the woman out of the Varsity Blondes.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they build on that now and they go down that direction, it'd be awesome. And then you add into the mix potentially Bray Wyatt.
That's if he ever decides to go back into wrestling.
I think he will.
I think he will, but
he's got a lot of unfinished business.
Yeah.
There was a promo, and I don't know if it was fan-made. I think it was fan-made, but there was a promo, and it was like it referenced The Fiend,
Eater of Worlds.
Eater of the Worlds. It referenced everything WWE, and then it obviously referenced the House of Wyndham.
Yes.
So he's not done with wrestling. He's far from done with wrestling. Do you remember when he yeah, I think it was fan-made. But you just think the potential there for him to come back and absolutely fucking dominate in AEW, it'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I mean, come on, mate. He's been fucking teased now for ages. It's just so happens that he's just doing a horror film at the minute, though, isn't it? So
it's all good.
I think when he's done with that, I reckon that'll be it then.
Yeah.
He'll have unfinished business, and he's actually teased a lot himself of returning to wrestling on Twitter. So, it's got to happen. We want Bray Wyatt.
Exactly.
I want Bray Wyatt. Add him to the mix. Turn the Dark Order evil again. Join the fucking House of Black. It'd be fucking... Oh, man, there's so much potential there. I'm actually getting hard just thinking about it.
No comments.
I try not to comment, but I just sometimes can't help myself. I really can't.
Oh, dearie me.
Oh, what now?
AEW star Joey Janela.
What's he done now?
Idiot. Rooting for WWE in MLW lawsuit.
Well, he's just showing support for MLW. What's wrong with that?
No. He's rooting for WWE.
Why would he be rooting for WWE? It doesn't make sense.
I have no idea.
You sure you haven't misread that?
Nope. I'm actually looking at it now. Oh dear.
Well, he must know something that we don't then.
I have no idea. I believe he actually put out a statement on Twitter. I'm just trying to grab it now. When it all loads up, this dude, I believe MLW suing WWE over alleged attempts to monopolize wrestling markets and undermine competition. This dude has no GCW written into his new contracts because I called him out for taking advantage of young talent. I hope the Titan puts them out.
Well, there you go. You must know something that we don't then.
Yeah, must do. Anyway, who knows?
Personal opinions at the end of the day.
Personal opinions, and who knows? We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. So, where are we going to go from here then? Because we've got a lot to cover, and we ain't going to have enough time to cover it all.
What's the most important thing you can think of right now that you want to cover?
That I can think of right now? Oh, well, there's a few important ones. You got the whole MJF, CM Punk, Wardlow
situation. that we can potentially cover in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, when it actually comes to a head
Options.
against Sean Spears this Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wardlow turning
Being
face.
over.
Yeah, being over and turning face.
Yeah.
And he is over, massively over.
Oh, hell yeah, he's over.
In his name when Sean Spears had a
Bear in mind,
a
they were chanting his name when he was against fucking CM Punk.
Yep.
Enough said.
He's over. That's why, but that's because he's in cohorts with
Right.
MJF, and they can tell that he's not happy with MJF. So it's been done right. Storytelling at its greatest. Some people ought to learn that.
Yeah, instead of just handing out championships to anybody.
Exactly, or the same old people.
Or just going, oh, you've had enough losses.
Yeah, or you've ring announced too many times. So doesn't matter.
I know. Anyway. Where to?
Yes, the whole Hangman Adam Page and Bryan Danielson came to a head finally.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, we would have covered this last week, obviously, because it was too big of a deal not to cover.
Yeah.
But
great match.
Their first match was amazing.
Oh yeah.
The second match was brilliant. Not as good as the first. That's because Bryan Danielson lost clean. But it was always going to happen. I think Bryan Danielson will probably just have a rest now from wrestling for a bit because obviously he's done a lot.
Oh, yeah.
How many matches had he done up until that point? 15?
Yeah.
15 matches and went 15-0.
And he wasn't gentle.
Yeah, and now he's 15-1.
Yep.
So it's like, the man deserves a break. He'll probably come back as face, but we shall see. But yeah, you had that old. But now I can see as well that nobody's really that bothered that Hangman Adam Page is the champion.
He's got a feud against Lance Hoyt potentially coming up, but honest opinion of Hangman Page as champion?
Lance Hoyt? You mean Archer?
Lance Archer, he also wrestled. He has wrestled as Lance Hoyt.
Yeah, I was just about to say, but it's Lance Archer now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Lance Archer now. Yeah, the Murder Hawk. Apologies.
Murder Hawk.
I mean, as it's just so they're now getting a big guy to come in to pummel and try to get sympathy for him, and it's like, okay, that's fine, I get it. I just.
It's kind of thingy and shitting all over Lance Archer, though, really, isn't it? Because he obviously had a bad neck injury not long ago.
Yeah, and on top of that, I just feel as though he actually deserves a run with a fucking title. It's almost like I feel like they're doing the whole Big Show effect on him that WWE did on Big Show.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. He did turn face, though, didn't he? Just before his injury. Which made me believe that eventually he was going to win the title. Then his injury came.
Yeah.
Yeah, TNT champion. But obviously he got injured. And obviously Miro's injured as well, so he can't face him. But I think that someone like Miro is going to be the one that takes the title off Hangman. And it's not just that. I just think Miro deserves it more. He's coming to the company.
I don't think he will.
I think he will because...
I really don't.
You know for a fact, right, that it goes... There's always a pattern. Heel face, heel face, heel face. We're on face at the moment. So we need a heel.
I think they'll either have Bryan Danielson, and yes, I pause because I want to make sure I get it fucking right again.
Do you reckon they'll do a Bryan Danielson? He comes back and it's like, I'm not finished.
I'm not finished. I'm not done with you. You'll take it, and then we'll get Punk.
Yeah, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with, but
Or Punk can take the title.
You know, it's got to lead up to something big. And I'm not being funny. Like, you've got to have superstars like Miro challenging for the title and winning the title. Yeah, but you've got to have people like that winning the title. Miro's been on the backbench now for fucking years, not just in AEW, but WWE.
I think
he was massively underused in WWE.
Sean Spears, he had been properly used on AEW for a long while, but I actually enjoyed the promo he did.
Yeah, I enjoyed the promo he did, and I'm going to enjoy watching him feud with Wardlow.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know that you know it's going to happen.
If he's not feuding with Wardlow, he's going to be signing with MJF.
Yeah.
But the point being is, I just like the promo that he cut towards Punk. Literally, he just goes, you know, figuring out what, you know, it was like, figuring out who I am, well, that's easy. Figuring out what I am, that's a whole different, that's a complicated story. Good promo that was. It's nice. But again, AEW, letting them speak their minds, letting them take control of their narrative. Enough said.
It's how you create good wrestlers. Do you really think AJ Styles has got as far as he has just on pure ability? No.
Exactly. And instead he's been, what's he doing now? Oh, pushing the next generation.
Exactly. Even though I just feel like he could still be doing more. But what do I know?
Yeah, getting killed by Omos and then going to NXT 2.0. And just barely getting the win. Although, I will say, nice to see LA Knight back. And there's a full-on face now. LA Knight is someone who I can see as like the next generation Austin.
Yeah.
And the weird thing about it is, Austin's had the what, and LA Knight's got the yeah.
That just sounded to me, but okay.
What? No, just watch him. As he's about to cut to promo, he's like, yeah. The crowd's going with him. The crowd's going with him on it. He's got over just going, yeah. But that goes to show how much he works on his character. Enough said.
Yeah.
Enough said. Any more news you want to cover?
I can't really think of any right now that would be worth warranting going into because of the time. But I think, if anything, what we could really be doing now is segueing into what we're talking about before we come on to air.
It depends on which part.
Well, no names being dropped, obviously.
Yep.
If you're all wondering what we're referring to, it's really...
I believe we might be having a few technical issues.
Yeah, just a few.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
That's fine. That's fine.
So anyway, I'll repeat it anyway. If anybody's wondering what we're talking about, no names being mentioned.
Yes.
We are, of course, talking about #SpeakingOut.
Yes.
Now, this information comes from a very credible source. Very credible source.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out that so far, with minimal investigation,
Mm-hmm.
that 50% of it, or in fact actually 70% of it, is true.
Oh dear.
Because said individual has deleted many, 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 many accounts that they use for wrestling.
Oh dear.
This is UK based, obviously. And don't worry, I won't slip up.
I know. That's why I'm leaving you to it.
Um,
Are you surprised I'm trusting you with it?
I am actually. I'm surprised that you're just going, I believe what my colleague is trying to say.
Nope.
And then me telling you to fuck off.
Please continue.
Um,
You asked me to trust you.
This is UK based. And unfortunately, for a said individual that allegedly is a referee within the UK scene,
Yep.
was accused of sexual harassment and forcing himself onto this individual, which I shall now be calling cretin. Now, the thing is that it's come to light that this referee has a lot of evidence against these accusations. A lot. Do you remember what we were talking about not long ago regarding another subject?
False allegations.
False allegations.
I believe we actually put that as part of the TBT awards.
Yes, we did. Yeah, we did.
As part of the get the filth out.
Exactly. The GTFO award.
Yes.
And that award for 2022 straight away should go to this person.
For this year, yeah.
For really should.
Well, they have candidates.
They have worked at multiple promotions, ring announcing, and all of a sudden she has actually been caught out and called out to the stage where now said individual is panicking and deleting all of her social media accounts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but, if the other 30% is true and what we've been told, you could be facing criminal investigations for false allegations. And you know something? I would love to be there when they send you down. And I would also love to fucking put your name right out there for the stars to see. And, certain people that we know will know who we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And
if you do a bit of research, you might have already figured it out. But let me just point this out. No names were mentioned. And there's no... Yes, my colleague has provided a bit of a descriptive, but he hasn't mentioned names. He's not pointed fingers. So there's no actual accusation or any thought-provoking as such. So just pointing that out. He hasn't.
So we have got 70% of the facts. We're just waiting for the 30%. But it falls under the category of false allegations. And that is something that we are very strongly against.
Mm-hmm.
Personal reasons. Personal reasons.
It's not just personal reasons. It's not just personal reasons for myself. It's not just personal reasons for myself. I just think it's absolutely disgusting. Aside from just being,
this all came to light mainly for hashtag speaking out.
Yeah.
A while ago, but it became more real fairly recently.
Yeah.
No shit. We've always said that we deal in facts, and we have 70% of the facts, which possibly, very, 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 very high chance that this is true.
Now,
And
let me just point this out. If it is that it isn't true, we will have no shame in handing out an apology if necessary.
well, why would we need to hand out an apology with no names were mentioned?
I'm just saying, if someone wanted to point it out, we could. But like my colleague just said, we haven't pointed names. We've only stated facts. We've only stated the facts. We haven't pointed the finger.
I wouldn't point a fucking finger at that treppy fucking arse. Anyway, yeah, so false allegations, it comes under the hashtag speaking out, and rightly so, they should be fucking hung and quartered. They really should. They really, really should, because...
Or they should get the exact same treatment as someone who's actually been accused, who's actually been convicted of doing what they've been accusing of.
Yeah, because there was a thingy not long ago in the local paper that does, obviously every paper now does the whole online thing.
Yeah.
And it was a woman that had falsely accused, that had her ex arrested up to 8 times under false allegations. And she was caught because she finally admitted it over text, that all the allegations were falsified because she was emotionally distraught that her ex wasn't doing as she asked. So, it works both ways. Just women that there's been cries out there have this particular individual.
Yeah, I'm just going to say apologies, because I'm not sure if all of that came through.
Which part?
Seconds.
As I was saying, it's like 8 times he's been, and due to appearing to admit it, to say that this woman should now face the same criminal charges or serve the same amount of time that he would have got if he had done it. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah. No, basically, now answer me this. If that person was, well, bear in mind, he could have ended up in a night in a cell.
No, he could have been sent down for a very long time.
That's what I'm saying. He could have already been spending the night in a cell from the allegation, which would then lead to him actually being put in prison through these false allegations. Now, said straight away, it's just wrong. It's just wrong on so many levels.
Yeah, the man deserves compensation. The man deserves to be fully cleared. His record should be expunged. Obviously, would be, because he's been found not guilty.
But the point being is, his name's been dragged through the mud.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, as we have said before, in regards to hashtag speaking out, that once allegations have been made, it has. If you haven't got the facts and you're coming forward with these allegations and you have no facts to back it up, then you're dragging an innocent man's name, an innocent man or woman's name through the mud.
And what for?
And what for? Just because you got the hump? Or maybe it's because they wouldn't touch your hiney. They wouldn't want to date you because you're a fucking ugly pig.
Or basically, regardless of whatever reason, unless they've actually done whatever you're accusing of, why the fuck are you doing it?
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. There's multiple reasons of why you could be angry towards somebody, and it just be a pathetic, measly answer. But also it could be part of a greater picture where it could very easily
be taken advantage of.
Clear not just one person's name, but another's. Never really thought about it like that, did they? Until this sort of stuff comes out.
The problem is with this sort of false allegation, regardless of it, this can also have damaging effect towards hashtag speaking out, because this person has put out false allegations, whether or not that a previous allegation that they might have made might have been legitimately, it will go under a microscope.
Yeah, it will do, because hashtag speaking out was designed to clear out all the bad eggs within the wrestling world.
Yeah.
People who had been sexually,
basically, in short, people who are being taken advantage of in unfortunate circumstances and situations.
Vulnerable people. You remember the whole footballing scandal? Was it Manchester City?
Oh.
The whole youth squad?
Not
Crew. It was Crew.
No idea. But then you've also got the whole Me Too movement.
Yeah, the whole Me Too movement. Well, I'm not being funny, but too many people using it as an excuse to damage someone's reputation is not only damaging the reputation, but you're actually damaging the actual
business.
The actual cause and the meaning, behind the whole start of hashtag speaking out, or Me Too movements, or any other movement. Yeah, any movement. False allegations. It puts it under a microscope, and then eventually it goes back to square one again, where nobody believes anybody, and it's just like, it's just seen as a bit of fucking banter. But also, may I just point out as well that if you're coming out in the hashtag speaking out movement as being sexually, abused or any abuse, or it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what category it comes under. You just, you're accusing somebody of being a nonce, basically.
Yeah.
Also, at the same time, if you're flaunting yourself out and you're doing it under your own will, but then you decide to go and point the finger at somebody for something that you did willingly, off your own back, without any prompting. Note, I said any prompting rather than minimal prompting.
Mm-hmm.
Any prompting. And then you go and try and call said person a nonce. I'm sorry, but it makes you a fucking nonce.
But at the same time, I believe my colleague at the same time, if someone is going to try and do the reverse effect and say, well, they came on to me, or they were flaunting it at the same time, regardless of it, both sides will have the facts and will have evidence. Provided. Enough said. The evidence will reveal it.
The evidence will reveal all the wrongdoings. That's why it's called evidence.
Which is facts.
So, yeah. But we'll keep you updated, and hopefully more comes out. Well, I've got no doubt that it'll come out, to be fair, but that's my opinion.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so let's just see what happens. And we'll keep everybody updated, because it's not just for people in the UK as well, but obviously if we ever hear of anything overseas, we'll keep you updated. Mm-hmm. Obviously, this is something that's come to light in the last couple of hours, so we have to discuss it again, because for sake of repeating ourselves, we just want to make sure that you heard us.
Yes.
We really, really do. But that's my rant over anyway.
And if anybody does want to ask us directly in regards to who this is involved in, we're not saying, because the second we give out a name, we are then putting out an accusation,
Yes.
which we are not going to do unless as my colleague has said, we have all the facts, 100% truth, and that that there is potentially even charges and everything, or anything in regards to it, unless an official statement is provided as well.
Yeah. It's just with this accusation, though, and this being called out, it has so many implications.
And it's far-reaching because at the same time, it's also got other situations that are going to be potentially tied to it as well. So,
which then would also be very damaging towards the hashtag Speaking Out movement as well.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
Yeah,
so
which is very unfortunate because it puts everything under scrutiny that everything under the hashtag Speaking Out was designed for.
Yeah, and on top of that, at the same time, we also have to follow this rule: innocent till proven guilty. And when we say it, we fucking mean it.
Yes, we're not guilty until proven innocent, you fucking idiots.
And when we say this, we don't just sit there and saying, oh, they're innocent until proven guilty. And then when we're talking to somebody else, mean in another direction. They are innocent until proven guilty. Remember...
Well, that's not to say, though, that we don't... we are against people being suspicious.
There's nothing wrong with being suspicious and cautious.
But once they proved innocent, it should be it.
Well, regardless of it, regardless if they're innocent or everything, remember what we said: innocent until proven guilty. There's nothing wrong with being cautious, though. But nothing wrong with being cautious and wary and vigilant. Agreed?
Agreed. I think we're done rambling now, don't you?
We're done there. Is that it for this week?
I think so, yeah.
Would you like me just throw in one more piece of news?
As long as it's not the news.
No, it's TBT news.
Okay.
The Burning Truth news. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to announce, if anybody is looking for some new snazzy wear.
Ooh.
And you know exactly where I'm going with this now, don't you?
Well, I hope it is. If not, then obviously my subscription to Ann Summers is out the window.
It's out the window.
Damn.
Nope. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and children of all ages, The Burning Truth proudly would like to state that we have some new merchandise on there, officially as of right now.
Yes. So, that being said, buy my fucking merch.
Buy our fucking merch. Been a fucking while since we've said that.
I know, it's because we've had nothing really, though, have we, to actually do it? We've been going through some creative problems.
We've been going through creative issues. We've been going through a bit of a time warp and everything. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to announce that the Burning Truth has new merchandise. One from myself and one from Irvine.
Yeah, I know. It's been a long time coming, hasn't it?
It has. Which is, in case if anybody wants to know, it would be the Morningstar t-shirt of James Irvine and the Hammer Matt Burns. Oh, no, actually, Matt the Hammer Burns t-shirts.
I'm still never going to get used to you saying that.
What?
Matt the Hammer Burns.
Would you rather be the Hammer Matt Burns?
No, because that just
sounds
makes
worse,
me
yeah,
think
I know.
It just makes me think of the genetic jackhammer. The one that Vince wanted to do the incest angle with.
With his grapefruits.
Yes.
But we won't go there. But anyway, point being is, if anybody's interested, check it out on the Burning Truth website. On the
I know you're all interested. So don't get plain dumb with me. You're all interested. You want to be like, oh, Signor Irvine, he buy us some new merch, and Matty Hammer Burns, he also he bring us some new merch. You buy my fucking merch, you fucking asshole.
Anyway, with that being all said, I thought we'd end it right there and then. Agreed?
Ka-ching, ka-chong, ba-ding, ba-dong. And
with that being said, that's going to be a wrap up for this week for the Burning Truth. Yes, it is another long episode. We do apologise for that.
It's not as long as last week.
No, but it's getting there. But anyway, point being is, I'm just going to just state, we're always going to be advocates for mental health as such, and everything. But asking for help is never a weakness.
That is true.
And of course, we also, as much as we have pointed, we haven't pointed fingers. As much as we have some hatred towards certain scenarios and situations. We also recommend everyone to, regardless of it, be more kind and, of course, be excellent to each other.
Bill and Ted.
Yeah. Basically, don't be a fucking nonce. Don't be a sliff. Stop being a fucking dick.
Damn.
What?
Why are you mad, bro?
Because I just fucking hate nonsense, sliffs, and fucking cretins and fucking, and everything. I just don't like them. They should all get in the fucking bin and fuck off.
It's not very often that Matt Vane swears, by the way, everyone. So obviously this is a very passionate scenario.
I just don't like it. I really just don't. The reason why I'm passionate for it is because, we've got a situation. We've got, if you want to be an arseholes, go off, do it elsewhere. Because right now we should be being excellent to each other, looking after each other, and and what makes it even worse is they're still being nonsense, sliffs, and everything, all the above. Simply, even during a pandemic.
Well, I hate to say this, but
what?
Are you done now?
I'm done.
Okay.
And that will be my therapy for this week.
Sounds it.
Blowing off a bit of steam, which everyone's entitled to do it. Let a bit of anger out.
Well, not being funny like, but I was half expecting you to just say, "Well, I'll have a wank."
I'm a wank.
Yeah, I'm a wank.
I'm a wank. You've been watching Bottom too much, haven't you?
Mate, I was bought up on it.
Especially the live ones.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, whatever shall I do? I'm a wank. I'm a wank.
But generally, yeah, we could start quoting Bottom, but no, we're not. We're not. We don't need to go for cheap pops.
Oh my god.
What? Anyway.
Well, now that's what I call the news.
And with all that, I've been Matt Burns.
I have been Signor Irvine.
It has been emotional, and we'll hopefully catch you next week.
On the flip side, baby.
So till then, we recommend you check out your local wrestling shows. Please support your local wrestlers and anybody who's on the independent scene by buying their fucking merch.
It sounded rather robotic until you actually said that then.
I thought so.
Never mind.
Anyway, basically, take care until next week. Catch you later.
Bye-bye.